You all, I'm Trisha Clements, Chief Fur Wrangler with MuttButs.com, and I provide dog and cat lifestyle tips and also offer products to help your pets be the healthiest and happiest that they can be. And I'm here today with Reedy and Margie. There's my Reedy boy, and here's my little Margie girl. So one of the very first things that I wanted to talk to you all, so today's topic first is protecting your pets and preparing them for cold weather. And that's really, really important, right, Reedy? Yeah, Reedy's about to take his nap. So one of the first things you all can see, Reedy has a very fashionable sweater on, and a lot of times short coat haired dogs, they do need a coat on if you're out walking them in this weather. Sometimes it might be more important for the short haired dogs than it is for some of the long haired dogs like the huskies and all. It really just depends on your specific dog. So when you're taking them out for a walk, please make sure that you remember that they may be getting cold. If you are all bundled up, you might need to put some extra layers on them as well. Right, Reedy? And Margie said that she was going to let Reedy wear the the little sweater, that she wasn't putting that on. I couldn't convince her to get the sweater on. The other thing that you're going to want to take into consideration when you're walking your pets are their paws. So, right, Margie? You're going to want to moisturize their paws before they go walking. Then when you're walking, a lot of times if there's bad weather, snow, rain that may get frozen over, there will be a lot of different chemicals and salt put on the road, on the sidewalks and all. So as soon as you come in from walking your pets outside, you're going to want to make sure you thoroughly clean their paws off, because one of the first things that you notice when they come in, they might start licking their paws. You don't want them to get that on their skin, their mouth, ingest it, because it's really not good for them. So that's one thing you really want to do, is make sure that as soon as you come in that you clean their paws thoroughly, and then you can re-moisturize them to make sure that they don't get all cracked, because like some people have dry skin, some dogs and cats get dry skin as well. And you're going to, if you're bringing your dogs, cats in and out in the cold weather, they're going from cold weather to hot to cold to hot. It's just like us, their skin may get flaky. So you want to make sure that you have plenty of hydration, not only water, but also in the air. Make sure you have a humidifier running in the cold winter months, so that you've got plenty of moisture in the air for them, for their skin to stay nice and moisturized. And if you think that your pet has any type of issues with their skin that doesn't look right, please talk to your veterinarian about them. Make sure you get ahead of that and make sure you get that taken care of before you run into any more serious issues. The other thing that I want to talk about that happens in the cold months is antifreeze. Now they do I know that they've talked about putting some something bitter in it, so that it doesn't have that sweet taste to it. But you want to make sure that your antifreeze, a lot of times it's got that sweet taste that really is attractive to all kinds of pets, also wildlife. You want to make sure that when you are putting antifreeze in, that if you have any spills or anything, that you thoroughly clean it up so that your pets cannot get a taste of it, because just a small amount is really very dangerous to them. It's very toxic and poisonous, and you want to make sure if you have any spills, you get it cleaned up. Also, if you've got a container out, make sure it's somewhere your pet's locked away in a cabinet that they can't get to, because that the smell of it, the taste of it for them is very attractive, and it's something that is very poisonous to them, and you don't want to have them get really hurt and have to take them to the emergency clinic. The other thing, and they've fallen asleep, is that I wanted to tell you a little bit about warm cars. Hi there, Lisa. Thanks so much for joining. So one thing, when the weather starts getting cooler, sometimes animals outside, if they're your pets, your neighbor's pets, or even wildlife or feral pets, may seek warmth. And when they see your car, they'll go to it because the engine's been warm. So you will want to make sure that when you go to get in your car, you might want to just tap the hood and make sure there's nothing under there that's been sleeping under where it was warm at one point to keep warm, that there's no animals under there. So I do have a little story to tell about that. It starts off sad, but it has a happy ending. So when I don't remember exactly how old I was, probably about 7-ish or so. I had a cat at home, and let's see, her name was Nike. I know that sounds like a little boy's name. I didn't name him, and yes, he was named after the shoe Nike. And so my mom and I went to church one day, and it was in the springtime, but I think the mornings were still chilly. And we came out from the service, and everybody was talking about a cat that was wandering around. Well, we finally saw that it was our cat Nike. She had ridden under the car all the way to church. And it was about a 10-minute drive. But the poor kitty, it was a young kitten at that time. A poor kitty must have been so scared. So we were so lucky that we realized that, you know, when everybody came out, she was there, and that we realized it and were able to get her and take her home. She did have an issue where she had gotten her tail caught. And so, but she did, after that, we had got her to the vet. She ended up after that with a little snub tail, which is fine. She lived for a really long time after that. However, it's just something to keep in mind. I was young. I didn't have any idea, but even when it's warm out, if it's cold at night, you may have pets that seek warmth, and if your car engine was on and they go up under there, and you just get in and go, they don't have time to wake up, figure out what's going on, and then get out. And so that poor kitty rode all the way to church, and she ended up being fine, thankfully. That was their little Nike kitty, and she was a really sweet kitty, and I was just thankful that we realized it, and that she was okay after that. But that's something, just if you park your car outside and you're getting in, just in the cold months, just tap on the hood, make sure there are no animals up under there. And isn't that right, Margie? Yeah, Margie agrees. She said, please don't run off with any animals up underneath it. Yeah, and here you all see Reedy is sleeping. There he is with his winter coat on. So, the next thing wanted to talk about our shelter. So the most important thing, I think, is to keep your pets inside in the cold months. Make sure you keep them inside and warm. Now, they also, when they're outside, they can get a lot of things, hypothermia with the wind chill, and frostbite. Our pets can get frostbite on all their exposed skin. They can get it on their paws, on their nose, on their little ears, on their tail. So you just want to make sure that your pets are warm. And the best place to have them is inside the house. Now, one thing you also want to remember, if your pets have to be outside during certain hours, it's really best make sure that when it turns dark out that they're inside. It really gets too cold a lot of times at night. But if they're outside during any point in the cold, you'll want to make sure that they have plenty of shelter. And they have all kinds of different things out there. You can they'll need a house, and if you've got a house out there, make sure that a dog house, make sure that it's lifted a few inches off the ground, because if it's right on the ground, the cold from the ground will really make it cold, and their body temperature will drop. So you want to have it raised up, have plenty of things in there. You'll want to get some all kinds of things to put in it, some straw, cider, blankets, cedar. What I said. And the other thing is to, they also have all kinds of different things you can put in there. Some of them are like electric heating pads. Be careful with those. Make sure that they have all of the right, everything is all checked out and that they're okay, because you don't want to have any incidences with that. But the other thing that I found is that they make these dog beds, and they have this technology in them that is similar to what is used in spacesuits to keep them warm. So it basically reflects their body heat back onto them. So that's pretty cool. So check that out. That's something that I think is really neat. So our pets can have spacesuit material. The other thing, make sure you have plenty of food and water out for your dogs. Also in the winter months, if you're used to using metal food containers, take those out and switch them out in the wintertime, because they freeze faster. And yeah, I know, I think that's really cool that our pets can have spacesuit material. But for the bowls, make sure that you don't use the metal bowls in the wintertime, because when they're outside, if they get frozen, you've seen the comics out there of the dog with the tongue stuck on the flagpole or the fire hydrant. Well, that same thing can happen with the water bowl. If there's water in there, you don't want their poor tongue getting stuck on the metal water bowl, right, Margie? Yeah, Margie says absolutely not. And Reedy, he's just, well, he woke up to say he agrees as well. So make sure that that you don't have the metal bowls outside in the wintertime. I do use the metal bowls in the summertime because I like them. I think they're easy to clean. But make sure that in the wintertime that you do change those out. Also, when you're feeding them, sometimes in the wintertime they're going to want a little extra food, because they need that food because they're going to be burning more energy to keep their bodies warm. But make sure you don't feed them too much so that they gain weight. If you're not sure about that, talk to your veterinarian. Make sure that they're getting the right amount of food so that they have they're really able to keep their warmth in. And the other thing, not sure what little Margie down here is doing, she's moving around, is to make sure that before severe weather hits that you're really prepared. You don't want a cold snap to hit and then all of a sudden have to run out to the store. They might be out. You may go online. We're used to doing our online shopping, but it might take a day or two to get here, and then the weather's already hit. So make sure you're prepared before the cold weather actually hits, that you've got plenty of blankets, that you've got plenty of food, flashlights, also that you've got plenty of their medication on hand as well. So the one thing to make sure that you remember is to, ideally, you want to keep your pets inside with you. And because if it's too cold outside for you, it's really too cold for your pets. You're going to want to just make sure that they're comfortable. You don't want them getting hurt. And if you're inside warm, they should, it's best for them to be inside with you warm as well. And let's see, I am going to thank you so much, Lisa. I hope you're able to get a lot from this. And everyone, please do me a favor and share with your friends. Yes, an emergency box, exactly. So that was the next thing I was going to say. I am going to have a full blog post with these tips on Tuesday, and it's going to have links to all different kinds of things that that you can use, different ideas. I'll have some links in there to the space blankets I was talking about. So make sure that you are on my list for that, and I'm going to show you right now how to do that. You're going to text MuttButs to 31996. And what that will do is you will receive my pet parent safety forms, and included in that is going to be the Go Kit. list, and that's going to have a list of everything that you need so that you can have everything ready and at your fingertips, and you don't have to be running around looking for things and trying to figure out what you need. It's right there, your Go Kit list. You'll have everything that you need so that you'll be ready for that. And so make sure that you sign up for that, and then you'll also receive a link to my blog when it posts, and it'll have all kinds of more tips, also links to all kinds of great information. So I hope you all enjoyed all of the tips that I had, and I think Reedy and Margie here, whoops, thought I turned it around. Margie here, she said she learned a lot. Reedy, he said he learned a lot. There Reedy is with a stylish jacket on, because that is his jacket for when he goes walking in the wintertime, because he doesn't have really long fur. And Margie says, please make sure you go get your pet safety kit so that you're prepared when the cold weather hits. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining, and please feel free to put any questions in the comments. I'll be back. I'll make sure I answer all of your questions, and thank you all so much for watching, and remember, they might be mutts, but they are 100% loved. Okay, let me see on the text again. So, you are going to text the word MuttButs, MuttButs, to the number 31996, and that will get you the pet parent safety forms, and you will also get on my list so that you know when my blog comes out, and you'll also you'll receive the full link to that has all the information. So you're going to text MuttButs to 31996. That's what you'll text, so that you'll get signed up for that. So you can do a screenshot. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll put that also in the comments as well. So, all right. Thank you all so much for joining. And again, I'm Tricia Clements, Chief Fur Wrangler with MuttButs.com. Thanks so much for joining. I'll see you again soon. Bye, everyone.